Well, obviously this is a huge event, right? I mean, the main event is massive. The fans are back in, all that. But does this personally feel like a big fight for you right now in your career as well?
I mean, yeah, it does. I mean, this is the first time in a while that I faced somebody ranked higher than me. So I think this is awesome, man. And hats off to Gilbert Burns because nobody else wanted to take it. Gilbert Burns, after that loss with Usman, he's like, you know what? I'm going to give Steven his shot. So I think this is awesome. It's big for me because you never know. The next shot could be the title shot. I know they're talking about Colby Covington. Of course, I don't know why they're talking about Colby Covington, but Leon Edwards especially deserves the title. He's on a 9-fight winning streak. But with a good win over Gilbert Burns, got to put me at the top of the list for sure.
Yeah, no question. When they mentioned the name Gilbert Burns, they just said a lot of respect for him stepping up. What do you think about him as a competitor and his, the style that he brings?
He's tough cookie to crack for sure. I mean, he's good everywhere, kind of like preparing for Rory McDonald all over again. Good striking, he's knocked guys out, good wrestling, good jiu-jitsu. And it's funny, man, everyone's like, man, his jiu-jitsu's crazy. I'm like, yeah, I will never be as good as him in jiu-jitsu. I'm a brown belt, come on. But I'm confident in my takedown defense in order to keep this fight standing. And every fight starts standing, starts on their feet. So he's tough, man. And I've gone back and watched a lot of his videos, and I know he's a smart guy, good athlete, so I know he's made some changes, but I'm willing to make those changes and adapt mid-fight if I have to. So this what makes it fun for me, preparing for guys like this.
I was going to ask, when people prepare for you, they always talk about the challenges, right? You know what I mean? Like, because obviously you offer such a unique style. So for you, are there people that are more difficult or troublesome to prepare for, or does your style not make it that's not true?
I guess there are guys out there that are hard to prepare for. I mean, such as Gilbert Burns, because he can take the fight anywhere he wants, like Rory McDonald as well. A lot of these guys. Good striking, good wrestling, he could take it wherever. Everybody knows what I'm going to do, right? So, but at some point in time, they always shoot for my legs, right? So it's kind of easy for me because I prepare everybody the same way. Start the fight standing. Eventually, they're going to try and shoot for my legs. Like Rory McDonald, he was trying those Imanari rolls. He tried it like 4 times, and I had a hunch he was going to try that. Do I think Gilbert Burns is that type of a guy to try that? I don't think so. I don't think he's more of a traditional wrestler, shooting for the double leg, single leg, things like that. So, which is why training with Chris Weidman, and of course having my wrestling coach Steve Deviney and Gianos and Coach Brian help me out for this camp and has been tremendous.
Yeah, obviously you're one of the greatest strikers in the sport. I just wonder, is there ever that itch, like when you're getting ready to go, his jiu-jitsu is good, but I could get down there and show him a little something. Do you ever have to have that inner monologue with yourself, like, no, that's stupid, what are we doing here?
Oh, 100%. I'm like, nope, not going down there, sorry. I do not want to go down that rabbit hole with somebody like this guy. So, it's something that I'm getting better at. I came into this game at 28 years old, and up into my 5th, 6th, UFC fight, I was kind of winging it. I was kind of learning on the fly of the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu. I'm blessed to be where I'm at right now at this point, but I'm getting better every day, and I feel like I've kind of honed in, what works for me.
Yeah. You can't take anything for granted, obviously, but you win here, as you said. I mean, you're right there at the top of that list. What do you do? I mean, if it ends up being Colby, as Dana is saying, and it's later in the year because the champ wants to sit out for a little while, I mean, do you just sit out and say, hope that everything speaks for itself, or do you say, maybe we go face a Leon or something to make sure we know who's number one?
Yeah, man, I'm not the kind of guy to kind of wait around. If that happens, awesome. I would love to face him. I do believe that he deserves the title next, but, I'm not the type of guy to sit around and wait. I would love that fight. And, I mean, we never know. We got to see what happens if the Colby Covington and Usman fight does happen, and if there's a different champ then. So it's kind of hard to say at this point.
What are we looking at over here, by the way? Are you walking in this thing, or?
Oh, you're talking about my NMF robe. I just got that, actually. It was pretty cool. I didn't know I was getting this today. Yeah, my man Tim in Paradigm hooked me up with it. It was pretty dope. The NMF robe, y'all.
Hey, you earned the title, you know what I'm saying? You earned the title, you get to sport it. So last thing for me, I mean, knowing this kind of everything that's on the line, do you have what is the mentality going in? I mean, as you said, you got a lot of respect for Gilbert. It's a dangerous guy. I mean, are you feeling like I got to go do something that catches the world's attention and makes fans demand me to be next, or can you not let yourself, add that?
I feel like I don't have to do anything, man. Just do what I do. Moving in as I get older, up in this sport, I've learned a lot of things. And in the beginning, I was focused mostly on the title, just getting the title, just get the title. But then I'm more focused on just bettering myself, and as an athlete has helped me tremendously as well. Not having the fear of losing, not having the fear of getting knocked out. I've been there, done that, right? So my last few fights, I felt like like you said, a little kind of free. I can just go out there and do my thing. And I think with that mindset, everything else will fall into place.
Steven, to your left over here, to your left. I don't know if you've seen the stat that came out this week, but you're actually 17 of 19 in takedowns defended since your Matt Brown fight. Does knowing that kind of thing, give you confidence in what you've been doing against grapplers?
I think so, man. It does give me confidence. I remember walking into that fight, the Matt Brown fight, everybody thought I didn't have any wrestling skills because he was taking me down like crazy. But it wasn't that. I was, first 30 seconds in that first round of that Matt Brown fight, I was spent. Terrible weight cut. I was cutting. Then we had no idea what we were doing when it came to the weight cut. I was walking around really heavy. So after that fight, my next fight, I decided to wrestle my opponent. And I remember after that fight, one of the guys in the UFC, I think it was Joe Silva, came to me and said, "You know what, Steven? It wasn't your wrestling that got you here." And that's all he said. I'm like, okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down, So the striking is what's made me exciting, but is that all I'm working on? No, I'm constantly working on my jiu-jitsu and wrestling as well. So it's improved tremendously having guys, like I said, like Chris Weidman. So it does give me confidence going into this fight.
And, after seeing a non-title co-main event with Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards at the last event, were you kind of hoping that you'd get the same thing here against Gilbert?
I kind of didn't know where that was going. I think whatever Nate gets, wants, he gets at this point. So he wanted a 5-round fight. He got it. But, yeah, man, it doesn't matter how many rounds I go. I had 5.5 weeks to prepare for my last one. It was a 5-minute round fight, and we went non-stop the whole time, and I felt great. Give me 8 weeks, see what I can do. So, and this is only a 3-round fight, so this is awesome, man. I'm excited to step out there, especially in front of the fans now. In my last fight, there were no fans, which was a pretty cool experience, but nothing like having fans there.
And in the past, you've been critical too of the side kicks to the knees. Say, maybe they should be illegal, a little bit dangerous. Recently, we've seen downed knees become a little bit of a thing with Sterling's fight, obviously, and some others. Where do you stand on grounded knees to opponents?
Grounded knees, like to the head or to the body or to the head. I don't know, man. I think you've seen that in a lot of organizations. Head kicks. Which is weird, which is kind of opposite. Like they allow head kicks but no elbows, right? It's kind of weird. I don't know. I think it would cause for a quicker fight. And I think with the UFC being an entertainment industry, the knees to a grounded opponents, I think it would end a lot of fights quickly, And I think more people want to see the fight. They want it to last, right? But yeah, going back to those side kicks to the knees, coming from somebody who's had, multiple knee surgeries. Me being 38, and the majority of those kicks, like John Jones, most of his opponents have had knee surgeries and have been out for a year, or 6 months to a year. So, yeah, man, I don't like to throw them. I will probably never throw them. I've got them thrown on me, but it's never enough to me. Everybody's like, hey, man, you should throw side kicks. I love the side kick. I just feel like if I started side kicking people's knees, it would just be over too quickly too. That's my jam. I love the side kick, but I never want to end somebody's career that way, or possibly do that.
And last thing for me, prediction on the main event. I'm sure you've been thinking about it a little bit.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Obviously, the last fight. This is the trilogy. I think the person that had to do the most changing out of both of them is Conor McGregor. He's got to get back to his movement. He got back into that. He was into that boxing phase for a while, and started standing there in front of somebody like Dustin Poirier. So he's going to take advantage of it. So I believe Conor McGregor gets back to his movement, his old self. He's got the fight in the bag for sure.
Best of luck, Steven.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Steven Mayer. I don't know if you saw or heard, but Colby Covington did an interview, said that you don't deserve anything. He was confused why you still called yourself Wonder Boy, because he said you're a 40-year-old man who used to retire and this and that. So what are is your response to that?
Man, it's a nickname. Come on, bro. I've had this thing since I was 15, and calling myself Wonder Man is just weird. I don't know, Wonder Man just doesn't fit right. But, yeah, he said, I identify myself as a boy, man. None of that. I just put a smile on my face. I actually laughed about it. I was like, you got something there. But it doesn't bother me one bit, man. He can say all the trash talking he wants. I'm going to eat him up with niceness. That's what I'm going to do. Just smile at him. And you know what makes him mad? You know what makes him mad?
And then speaking about this fight specifically, Gilbert Burns' own words when he lost to Kamaru Usman, when he clipped him, or Gilbert clipped Kamaru, and he said he went Cody Garbrandt crazy and just kind of blew up, doesn't even really remember it. From your past fights, you're obviously visibly frustrated when they can't catch with you. So when you hear Gilbert Burns say something like that, like he just saw red and went after it, are you thinking in the back of your mind like, oh, this is something I can take advantage of?
It does, man. It really does, and that's my whole game plan, right? With my opponents, is to try and pull them out of their comfort zone, make them frustrated, and capitalize on that. But for me and my mindset going into this fight, I feel like Gilbert Burns has learned from his last mistakes, and I feel like I'm going to get the best mindset, the best Burns come this Saturday. I know he wants that win back with Kamaru Usman. It was devastating. I've been there. So for me, I feel like I'm going to get the best Gilbert Burns, man, and that I wouldn't want anything else but that.
Steven over here, on your right. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Doing good, man. Hanging out
Awesome.
with you guys.
Awesome. Great to hear. Steven, Gilbert talked about bringing in Raymond Daniels to help him prepare for a style like yours. You've obviously had experience competing against Raymond, not in MMA, but what are your thoughts on him bringing him in?
Great fighter, man. Great fighter. I feel like I deserve some of whatever these guys are paying him because, what was it? Rory McDonald brought him in. Tyron Woodley brought him in. Now Gilbert Burns. Like, come on, man. I'm helping you out. You should get a percentage of what they're paying you. But he's one of the best to do karate. Now, we have different styles, completely different styles, which I don't mind him going up there. Sure, go up there and help him out. It's not going to help you come Saturday. But, it also gives me some confidence knowing that there's only one guy in the entire world for people to bring in for me. One guy. Like, it tells you how difficult it is for my style to prepare for. And can he do it in 8 weeks? Can he make those changes? We'll see.
Going on that a little bit, how do you feel Raymond has done in his MMA career? Because obviously, you guys compete a little bit, and now he's kind of doing his thing, obviously, in the other promotion, and just watching his growth.
Awesome. The guy's awesome, man. The guy's such an athlete. He's so fast, man. He can close the gap so quickly. And the guy's like 40, 41, still moving like he does. Like, that inspires me too, man. I can do the same thing. So I think he's got a good career ahead of him.
I know you're obviously focused. You got a lot to work on here at the UFC welterweight division. But when people bring up those fights, a rematch with you and him, MVP, what goes through your mind personally?
I think it's cool. It goes to show that karate fighters are coming up. We're making some noise. MVP and Raymond Daniels and myself. Like, there's what, 3 of us, and I can't tell you how many inspired people from a traditional backgrounds. It doesn't even have to be karate, but taekwondo, judo, strictly Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Everybody's like, bro, we love it, man. You inspire us. So I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, Steven, have you seen, to your right, slight right? There we go. Hey. Speaking of Raymond Daniels, have you seen the Joseph Valtellini video, How to Beat Wonder Boy Thompson, on YouTube?
I have. Somebody sent it to me, and I just saw little clips of it, but...
It's not an attack video, but he just makes the case that the way in which he was able to defeat Raymond Daniels in kickboxing is something that enough fighters don't use in MMA. I wonder what you make of the claim.
It was mostly has to do with pressure and leg kicks, for sure, to slow the movement down. But like I said, me and Raymond Daniels, we totally have different styles, So with the leg kicking, most everybody, whenever I fight, try to kick me in the legs. Vicente Luque, Jeff Neal, Roy, everybody tries to take my legs out. And, I just have a way that I can maneuver and, block or evade those kicks. It's impossible to evade all of them, but that goes through that conditioning process you put yourself through when you get into this game. Taking those leg kicks from Chris Weidman, so he kicks so hard he breaks his own leg. The dude hits like a truck, man. So I got big guys at home, high-level strikers that I spar with. So yeah, man, it doesn't bother me one bit. But I think it's cool. Guys are trying to break us down.
Steven, right over here. You seem more of a journey than destination guy for me. You speak with a lot of wisdom, but Do you, at your age, feel like you're starting to think about what your legacy might be and almost feel pressure to put some final touches on it before the end?
Not at all, man, because as much as I'm growing right now and evolving in this game and getting better, like I feel like I'm 25 years old. You know, I feel great, man. My body feels good. My mindset is right. In my earlier days, like I said, I was more focused on just getting the title. And a lot of people who just focus on that aren't willing to do what it takes to get there. So, you know, after my losses, after me getting knocked out, you know, your mindset changes a little bit. It's more on bettering yourself, like I said, more on improving yourself. And with that kind of mindset and doing that, putting in the work and doing that, everything, like I said, will fall into place. That title will come.
What would you say is your secret for longevity, being that you're at an age that is uncommon in this division to be, you know, to be this elite at this point?
Yeah, I was kind of upset because for this fight, my medicals were tremendous. Like I had to do so much more stuff because I'm 38. I'm like, come on, man. I don't remember doing half the stuff a year ago that I'm doing now to be able to get this fight.
You're close to a prostate check, bro. It's coming.
I know. Oh, I'm not prepared for that. But I think for me, it's, you know, big thing for people who aren't in MMA. It's definitely staying healthy, man. I live a healthy lifestyle. I train every day. I teach the kids class. They also have a crazy amount of energy they give to you and help you keep you young. But in training, man, it's training smart. You know, I've been to a lot of places where you step on the mat, you're fending for your life. You know, and that's not a fun place to train. You know, people lose their jaws, their chins, not in the fight, but in the gym. So we train smart. My dad, my pops have been training guys since, man, he's been fighting since the 70s, he's been training guys since the early 80s, and he knows how to do it. But, and take some time off, man. Like, I take some time off. Give yourself ample time to heal up, get your massage, get your chiropractic care, get your, you know, whatever it is to make you feel good, go do it. Have you a spa day or two. But it helps, man. And I think my style plays a lot in my longevity as well. I don't like getting hit. I don't know if anybody who does, but there's a lot of styles out there. It looks like the guy likes to get hit. And my movement and things like that definitely help evade or glance heavy shots off. My last fight, I had a big gash, but didn't take a whole lot of head trauma. So been knocked out once my entire career. Hopefully we keep it that way. But yeah, just that's my life, man.
You know, when you're as elite as you are, you have to be a perfectionist. So I know you're on top of everything. Do the Woodley fights eat at you in either a positive or negative way with this many years apart that you can either use for good, or does it, you know, eat away at you as a competitor?
To be honest, I don't even think about it. I don't even think about it. It's just one of those things. You know, I learned from it at the time. And in those losses, it's like, you know, why did I lose? Of course, that goes through your head, and you figure out what happened, and then you don't dwell on it. You just move forward. You go back and fix those mistakes that you made. And I don't think about it. You know, I thought about getting knocked out. You know, why did that happen? Why did I not see that punch coming? You know, and made those changes. And sometimes it's one of those things that you can't even think about, like Chris Weidman's break. Like, why did that happen? You know, 1 in a million chances that happens to a guy that's happened 3 times in the UFC, and it's happened to him twice. It's been a part of 2 of them. You can't make sense of it. So why sit there and dwell on it, you know? Whatever happens, happens, and you got to move forward. Stay positive, man. And I keep a good set of people around me to keep me focused and to slap me around when I'm not.
Steven, I got you here. Local guy. No prostate questions from me. You kind of alluded to it a bit ago, but the fact that you get a chance to fight in front of fans and to be part of a monumental card here in Las Vegas, the very first UFC fight post-COVID, full capacity. I guess your thoughts on that?
Epic, man. Epic. Yeah, I've had that experience of fighting without fans. It's pretty cool. But stepping out there with an arena with thousands of people cheering for you or booing you, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it, man. And it definitely gives you the energy to go out there and perform way better than what you thought you can perform, you know? As soon as those gates close, it's just like, I don't hear the fans anymore. It's strictly my opponent, but that walk out and that walking from win or lose makes it all worth it. Makes it all worth it.
The fact that it's here in Las Vegas. I mean, the fact that, you know, the UFC hasn't had a fight with full capacity fans here in over a year.
let's go, man. Everybody asked me, like, how do you get on these sick cards? I'm like, I have no idea. I was at UFC 205 in Madison Square Garden, one of the most epic cards of all time. And now this one, man, and they're Conor cards. Conor has a way with fans and just hyping a fight up and just giving it the energy it needs to be just one of the best cards, man. But not just him, but the epic people that are fighting on that card. Myself, Gilbert Burns, Ryan Hall, Sean O'Malley, all these guys make it an epic card. Is that it? All right, guys. Thank you.